I accidentally uncovered a dildo cult at my exchange year. This was translated by Chat. The original story is in German. This story is kinda long, so if you want to read it, take your time. Back in 2017, I did a year abroad in the US when I was still in high school, gymnasium in Germany. The way it worked was that host families looked at your profile and then decided if they wanted to take you in. I ended up in a family deep in Tennessee, in a small town called Hohenwald. It wasn't a big place, but it had a school and all that. At the time, I was a really curious teenager with nothing but dumb stuff in my head. Anyway, I made friends at school pretty fast. For people who don't know, Americans are super nice, but also kinda dumb. Their lifestyle is just totally different from here in Germany, especially down south near the Mississippi. You've probably heard all the stories about rednecks. I became friends with this guy called Nash. Total conspiracy theorist, but he had crazy good connections in the town and seemed to know everything about everyone. Then there was this other guy called Lucas, not sure how to spell it in English, nickname Lucky. Lucky was the typical ladies' man, good-looking, parents with money, and he had just moved to Hohenwald from another town down south. During the school year, Lucky came out as gay. Nothing wrong with that. But later Nash somehow found out that back in middle school, he had done the same thing as some kind of trick to get invited to girls' sleepovers. Nash started suspecting that Lucky was trying to pull the same stunt. At the same time, there were rumors going around that the popular girls in school were doing some kind of weird dildo rituals. Like, monthly or every few weeks they'd get together and do some occult circle stuff. Candles, writing weird things, fingering each other, that kind of crazy shit. Honestly, I have no idea how this didn't spread like wildfire, because normally gossip in that town spread insanely fast. Nash knew about that because one of his black friends from the football team fucked one of the girls. Anyway, back to the story. Lucky came out, hung around with the girls, and eventually got invited to one of these parties. We were lab partners in chemistry, me, Nash, and Lucky, so we knew about it. He told us he was going there on a Saturday. We planned to meet up with him the next day, Sunday. So Sunday comes, we drive to his place in Nash's car, call him, no answer. We ring the bell, and he just answers through the intercom with this rough, messed up voice. Guys, I'm not feeling well today, can't hang out. That's it. Nash immediately goes like, yeah, they definitely shoved that thing into him this morning in their ritual circle. We had zero proof, but that's how his mind worked. Nash, being the psycho he was, came up with a plan. Next time the girls have one of those meetings, we'd sneak onto the property and spy on them. These parties never happened at the same girl's house, but Nash used his connections and actually found out where the next one would be. He prepared everything like some James Bond mission. Checked fences, bushes, the garage roof, the whole setup. So on that Saturday night, we sneak over, climb onto the garage, and peek through the shutters. American shutters aren't like German ones. If they don't close perfectly, you can see through the gaps. And yeah, the girls were actually sitting in a circle with pillows, candles, disco lights, and they were shoving this giant horse dildo, literally the length of my arm, inside themselves. I swear, those images are burned into my brain forever. I wanted to look away but couldn't. And Nash, that crazy bastard, started taking pictures. We left after that. Nash even fell off the garage and smashed himself, but he was laughing the whole time. I was traumatized for life. He thought it was the funniest shit ever. Of course, the pictures eventually got leaked. No idea by who, expressionless face. And people knew Lucky had been there too. After that, it blew up. Parents got called to the school, accusing each other of corrupting their kids. Lucky turned into the #1 bullying victim, and the girls got a horrible reputation. Nobody was suspended, because technically no law was broken, but if you know the conservative South, you can imagine how big the scandal was. The only problem was they wanted to know who and how shit got leaked, but nobody besides me knew, and I didn't snitch cause Nash was a crazy MF. Nash was super proud that he uncovered such a messed up conspiracy. I finished my exchange year and went back to Germany, but I kept in touch with him until like 2021 or 22, around the start of COVID. He told me that Lucky eventually left the school because of the bullying. The girls supposedly went back to their occult stuff later in high school. So yeah, that's my confession. I've never told anyone except my brother, but it really showed me how dumb teenagers can get when they've got nothing better to do.